Hello, I'm Lydia, and I'm making Hoshigaki. Hoshigaki is the Japanese word for a special kind of hand-dried persimmon, which makes it a dried fruit. You start with fresh persimmon, which I call kaki, that's where the gaki in Hoshigaki comes from, and you dry them for over a month until they get dry, squishy, and coated in a natural sugary powder. Persimmons are a delicious orange fruit, one of my favorites, that are in season in the fall as it starts to get cool. So lots of people in Japan and in California make Hoshigaki in the fall and winter. Hoshigaki are considered very special and are often given as gifts and used in ceremonies to celebrate the new year. To make Hoshigaki, you will need some fresh persimmons, specifically Hachiya persimmons. Hachiya persimmons are the ones that are pointy. They taste very, very bitter when they're fresh and hard. And then if you let them get squishy and soft, they're very sweet. Then there's also Fuyu persimmons, which are much flatter, and you eat them while they're hard like this. These ones are sweet and crispy. So we need the Hachiya persimmons, which are the pointier kind. They're much bigger than this. And you need somewhere to hang them for a long time. I'm using my laundry rack. I started my Hoshigaki process in November. It's December now. I went to my neighbor's persimmon tree and I picked some persimmons. Then I took them home, I washed them, and then I peeled the skin off of the outside of them. Then I tied strings to the tops of the persimmons. I did have to put screws in the tops of some of them because the stems came off when I picked them and I needed somewhere to attach the string. It did feel very silly to put some screws in the tops of fruit, but it was also kind of fun. I then took the fruit and I dipped them into boiling water for a few seconds to disinfect and clean them. After that, they were ready to hang up to dry. I hung them on my laundry rack, which does feel a little silly to have a laundry rack sitting in my living room, but it's actually pretty typical for people who are drying persimmons at home and need to get creative for where to hang them. Sometimes people also hang them up under the eaves of their house. It's okay for them to be outside, but you also don't want them to get rained on, so you just have to be careful about that. Once they were hanging up, I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and then 1 week later, it was time to start massaging them. So you have to massage them gently so that they'd stay all in one big fruit piece. And then I'm supposed to massage the drying fruit every day or close to for a whole month. So I actually made myself a calendar so that I could give myself stickers for every day that I massage them, which is a fun little reward. This is what massaging the Hoshigaki looks like. So you're trying to squeeze it a little bit, gentle massage without letting it get too squished. And you do this every day. Massaging or kneading them helps the whole big fruit dry out without having to cut it into small pieces. By the end, the Hoshigaki, the dried persimmons, will look and taste very different from how they started. So they started as fresh persimmons that were hard, crunchy, bitter, large, and bright orange, and they became Hoshigaki, dried persimmons that are dark brown, squishy, and very sweet. Thanks for joining me on my Hoshigaki journey. Oishii, which means yum. Thanks!